I never stop loving that intro, by the way. Once again, thank you very much, Sin Williams. Greatly appreciated. That's Virtue. Thank you so much for doing that for us. It never gets old for me. Absolutely not.
It's
So,
good. Although I feel like it gets louder every time we play it.
Oh God, what? Oh God, what, Jordy? What? Huh? Nothing. Unless you're old. Why are you old? You're old. Why, you remember 3 years ago when you used to be on the old stream? Is that what it is? Battery himself, huh? Battery one. We are live. Looks like we're live on YouTube also, which is fantastic. Obviously, we'll wait. It is actually good to see Jordy on here. Good to see him. He actually came by the shop this week. He was by the shop last week. It's wonderful to see him. Oh, Ed, we got one portion of Dark Horse 6 here already. Look at that. Oh my God, I'm feeling the love. I absolutely
Hide your wives. It's Ed.
These two guys right here. Oh my God. And you, who I haven't seen in a while. Got your hair cut. Look at you. Huh? Looking handsome as ever. Look like you've lost some weight, actually, since last time I saw you.
Since the last time you saw me, I'm 13 pounds lighter.
Good God. What's up?
Yep.
Bulimia? How are we?
I go to the gym 4 times a week, and my coach is bulimia. No. I just
who needs those empty calories?
It's true. It's true. There's no calories in water. The other night, I had a big old bowl of sleep for dinner, so it worked out. You know.
Oh, yeah, that's one diet. That's one way to do it for sure.
Oh, I'll die.
Yeah. For those of you that are on right now, guys, are we look okay? Well, I know I look okay. Are we coming through all right? Can you hear us okay? Any problems, give us a shout. Let us know. We're excited to be here. We missed the last stream. Unfortunately, I was dead to the world. Had whatever cold was going around.
His funeral was quick. I gave a eulogy. I was like, he's dead.
Yeah, got a COVID-ritis. I don't know what it was called. Something.
And actually, the stream prior to that, it was my fault we didn't do it. Yes. We tag teamed it because we were sick of y'all. We wanted our own. We wanted to be happy for a month.
Very glad to be back. Really, really, truly do wish I might still tease the announcement a little bit. I don't know if I should, just because shouldn't. No, everybody says no. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to do it though. I really am. I want nothing more than to be able to put it out there. It would be just so fantastic to be able to say something about it. We're as usual, guys. As per usual, we're gonna, we take about the first 7 to 10 minutes, or so, give or take, just to kind of blah blah blah, get people on, see who's out there seeing it. We're gonna start off with we're doing events. Yes,
we're doing events.
Attaboy. And then we'll go from events right on into it. Tonight we're those of you that actually read something, we're talking about 3D prints and airsoft. Ouch. We're talking about 3D prints and airsoft, everything surrounding that, the differences between it, what shouldn't be done, etc.
What should and shouldn't be done?
Well, there are some shouldn'ts, and I believe strongly in there are some shoulds, and we will certainly get into that some more. One of the things that should be done is Mr. Jordy should get back into playing airsoft. That's something that should be done.
Wow, what? Does he have something better to do? Let me answer that. No, he doesn't. My name's Jordy. I pay taxes. I'm busy. I can't play airsoft. It'll get in the way of me trying to be an adult. Whatever.
I played what was Pennsylvania last game? No,
Wait, hold up. That's a revelation. You play airsoft?
no, apparently not.
Yeah. Let's not lie.
I don't,
Let's not lie to each other.
I don't play again until October.
That's crazy.
Oh no, until September. Excuse me, September. I'll be in Pennsylvania in September, and then North Carolina in November.
Yeah, buddy. It's gonna be so good going to the mall again. I'm stoked.
Yeah, and honestly, this time oh, Mr. Wiener. Oh boy, there we go. Jason Tom.
Wiener, I still have your prop that sucks, that is broken, and you need to return. Do I need to mail that back to you? Let me know.
Actually, if you, in like 2 weeks, he's talking about coming down to the shop, and I think he's talking about on a weekend. So if you all want to meet up, we'll do like a little meetup down at the shop.
I wish I had like the I wish I had a soundboard so I could do like The Rock, like.
Or does like I hope you got some sleep last night. You're nice and rested, so you can actually throw some proper puns and jokes out tonight. We look forward to that.
You should ask him what op he went to recently.
Who's that?
Jason.
What op?
Yeah, he went to an event recently. I can't remember what it was though.
What did they go to recently?
I don't know. No, that's the crux of the question. I don't know. So.
Yeah. I actually, honestly, I miss it. I miss being with everybody. I miss getting out there playing. And I happened to be on. I was on Joker stream last night, and we were talking a bit about it. And
talk about what?
And I mentioned that, at the mall, I'm actually going. I'm embedding myself as much into this character as I did the mayor for Wasteland. Yeah. AMS Operation Arsenal.
Sick.
We went to dim sum event. Went to lotion event. Saw you there, brother. Oh my goodness. Goodness. It's good to be back. I love it. Happy to do this. Happy to enjoy it. Oh man. Let's see where we are. We're 708. Okay.
This stream is brought to you in part by Pepsi Wild Cherry Zero, for when you faintly want the taste of something more than not water. That tastes just like a fake cherry.
Big Mo. Mo's on. Here we go.
Shit! It's Mo Stolen.
You're coming back not with a bang, but with a VD, my friend. With a VD. Mm-hmm. This is all I can afford. Ouch, man. All right. Maybe I shouldn't have encouraged any of this. Guys are coming strong on each other. Yep, I did not mean to say that. Talking about a lotion event, and I mentioned coming strong at each other.
I get it.
I didn't mean to. I actually did not. All right.
Hey, Greg, we're getting close to the 10-minute mark. Do I have things to tell you?
Oh, do you? Do you have something to tell me about events coming up?
No, I'm pregnant. Yeah, I do.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm pregorgant.
Look at that.
So, our beautifully unupdated list of events, that it's still, despite this list not being updated, it is still anxiety-inducing for how many events are coming up. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Wow.
Wow, this is
terrible
intense.
Tonight. I love it.
Oh, what'd they say? I'm not looking at the comments. What
no,
they say?
Keep reading. Apparently, you're having triplets, by the way. But go on.
Can I guess who that was?
It wasn't Jason.
Wiener.
Yes, it was.
I know you. I know who you are. All right. So let's get this pumpkin rolling. Let's start with July. Nothing on the calendar.
Nothing on the calendar in July. Okay.
Ready for this? Let's start in August. Nothing that I know of that I've written down.
Keep in mind, guys, these are just events that either we're attending or are local to us.
Yes.
That's what. Obviously, somewhere across the country and across the world, there are events occurring. These are just ones that are either local to us or ones that we will be attending. So,
and if you're our friend and we didn't mention your event, shut up. Anyways, so no. God, if Kevin was on and I said that and he was like, "You forgot my event," I'd probably just leave. But anyways, so let's start in September, pulling down our pants and swinging hard. It's Serious Viking 5 by Third Coast Airsoft. We're talking the Guardian Center in Perry, Georgia. Easily the Eastern Seaboard, like easily a bucket list event. You can't beat it. Urban warfare on a sprawling urban environment with roads, streets, multi-story buildings, ruins, bunkers, woods. Hey, Greg, woods. Remember the woods? Woods. Woods. Anyways.
I remember running all the way to the woods. Yes, across the gravel parking lot. I do remember that.
An absolutely solid op by a legendary event producer at Third Coast Airsoft.
For sure.
Shout out and kisses to Sal. Love you, babe. God, please don't watch this. But the other event in September, from September 22nd to the 23rd, it is the Yellow Dog Incident by Big House Milsim in Pennsylvania. Have you ever wanted to play airsoft in an entire abandoned town? Okay, well, sit down, buy some tickets for a flight for this event. This is it. In the scary backwoods of Pennsylvania, you can shoot and murder each other in a lightly zombie-themed, apocalyptic resource management-styled airsoft event. It has something for everybody. If you want to go shoot stuff, it's perfect. If you want to do a little bit of role play, it's perfect. If you want to play in an abandoned town, it's double perfect. If you want to fly in a helicopter, wrong event. We don't have that. Come check this out. Really fun fact, my streaming partner in crime here, adjacent to me, do you have some involvement in this event?
Me?
Yes.
I am actually the NCO for this event, as a matter of fact. Yes, I am. And the fine gentleman on the chat with us right now, Mr. Rob Wiener, is my XO. Absolutely.
Wow, Rob Wiener has some involvement in this event. But anyway.
Oh my God! Wow. Yes, you are my XO resident. Not quite Resident Evil. It's a pseudo third faction. The way the event's being played, there will be a zombie faction that is kind of there to help move the game along. They're not active at every moment, so it really is a green tan event with a pseudo third faction. So yeah,
a little sprinkling of a TFR, if you will. Except this TFR desires brains and bodily fluids.
Hang on, if I'm reading this correctly, I think we just got a commitment for Mr. Yordi to come and play.
We'll see you in September, son. We'll see you in September, son. Millie Rock all over your promise. Anyways,
that's a commitment. It's written in the internet, written in ink, digital ink, right there.
We got to go get him to write that in blood. But moving into the month of October, we have
what could be going on in October?
Well, goddamn, be quiet so I can talk. No. So the weekend, or let me say it like this, October 6th to the 8th, we have a double stacked weekend. So let's start with Freddie Lux's very own Veterans for Airsoft, Operation Ironhawk. It is a for veterans by veteran airsoft appreciation game day. If you're a veteran, go play. And if, sir, as the veteran, the honorary, the literal actual veteran that I know, if you did serve Uncle Sam, you get him for free, if I'm correct.
That is correct. Yep. If you are a veteran, you play this event for free.
And if you're a filthy, dirty civilian like myself, you pay for their good time, and that's fine.
Should be an awesome time. It's actually being played in Sherwood
You got
Forest. Yep. Look at that. I know a little something. It's being played up at Sherwood Forest. It should be a fantastic time. I'm fingers crossed I might be able to make it. Actually, to be honest with you, fingers crossed that I won't be able to make it, because if I can't make it, that means I'm doing something so much more important. Not to diminish how important that game is, though.
Shout out to Freddie Lux with his beautiful smile and his wonderful goofy Facebook post he's putting right now of him. Just being an absolute Chad. he's doing reserve training. What's he doing right now?
It's actually a youth camp training. He's
it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Just he did the chapstick meme the other day. He's like in full kit with a gun. He's just like Darner. Just like I love Freddie Lux. I wish it was your daughter. Yeah. Double booked weekend, a Striker Airsoft event, Operation Kaz Evac, in our backyard, for heaven's sakes, in Arcadia, Florida. Yes, this is happening in an old Air Force base that was built. It's a World War II era, I think, built in the 30s. Air Force base in Arcadia, Florida. If you didn't get the hint,
There's
it's Florida.
Ghosts and asbestos. So
yes, they're accessing probably the more interesting parts of the AO, not the entire AO, but they're accessing the parts you want to play in. Absolutely check it out. Shout out to Laz, leader of the Tryhards, being one of the COs at this fantastic event. And got to shout out Tia, or else she'll drive up to Sarasota and sock me in the face and beat me up. Got to shout her out too. But yeah, absolutely. Striker Milsom Airsoft events are hosting at a fantastic AO with some fantastic people. Definitely check them out. That is the entire weekend of the 6th and the 8th of October in Arcadia, Florida. Please check them out on Facebook for more details. Moving right along, October.
Still in October. Oh,
Still
there we go.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to say.
Rattler's Rage himself.
Oh, Rattler's Rage. I miss you, Orlando. Invite me out so I can kick your ass in your private airsoft field. But anyways.
You're invited every weekend. They play.
Well, I got to get a message. I'm not just going to knock on the door and be like, would you like to buy some fitness? But moving right along, Operation Line Claws proudly presents Thunderdome 3. Trace. At the Northgate Mall in Durham, North Carolina. I don't have to really say anything. The event sells itself after I say these two sentences. You ever wanted to play in a mall? Go to this event, period. One sentence. Go play.
I have something to say about it.
It better be good.
I am the cartel CO.
It was very good.
Is that not good? I plan on playing this very much. Like I said, I plan on playing this very much like I did the mayor for Wasteland. I'm going all in on the character. Oh, you have no idea. I got guns being built as we speak, outfits being laid out, stitched and hemmed. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
If y'all remember the Micro Menace with the sledgehammer from Thunderdome 2, you know exactly what's happening.
Crime does pay, baby. Yes, it does.
The Micro Knot, as I might call you. Yes, yes.
Cartel's taking this all the way this time. No mercy this time.
All the drugs snorted. All the illegal crimes. I'm not going to recycle. I'm going to double park. You can't stop me. Yes. Very excited for that. Shout out to I'm Sold All Millie Rockagnori promising more stuff. Millie Rockagnori promising more stuff. Yes.
No asses chaz not for Cartel CO.
Yeah. The people wearing the assless chaps are the ones being rescued from the cartel, and they don't work for them.
Sal's on. Look at that. Sal, look. Just say hi, you missed us talking about it. Yeah.
Crime does pay.
Serious Viking coming up. We mentioned that before. Sal, you're going to be at the mall again this time, right? I know.
Better be.
Dark Horse 6 is there for Cartel. I know Wiener's going to be there for Cartel. Toucan, you coming there, right?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of. Shouldn't say a lot. I have involvement with the event. I'm very excited. Kevin is a gentleman. But hey, speaking of Sal being in the stream, and I guess he does stuff. Maybe. Hey, Operation Iron Dagger, October 10th to the 12th. Check it out at the GTI Government Training Institute. You literally can't beat it. An old, awesome. I always want to call it a textile mill. That's not what it is. It's some kind of like refinery of some kind. I don't know what it is, but huh? What'd you say?
For which? Are you talking about?
Operation Iron Dagger. GTI. Okay. Whatever. It is an awesome location on a sprawling AO littered with amazing points of interest. Great fights. The middle structure, the icing on the cake itself, is this gigantic facility on the AO. You absolutely have to check it out. Technicals approved. It's hard not to sell. It's hard not to sell such a great event. Definitely check it out. I have nothing to say other than you're stupid if you don't want to go. The end. So it is supposed to be double booked with Scorched Earth, but there's a discrepancy with the Crescent Prison right now. I'm going to hold off on that.
Yeah, I don't think there's actually a discrepancy anymore. He mentioned it last night. I think.
Okay, then yeah, it's not happening. As far as I know, sadly. But you know what isn't a discrepancy? You know what rules and breathes life into this hobby for me? Wasteland. November 17th, Wasteland 15, 2-day event, Fallout, LARP, roleplay experience, Super Mutants, Raiders, Merchants, NCR, cosplay, roleplay, extreme violence, grenades, chems, Nuka-Cola. Check it out. And it's relevant to part of the conversation we're going to have later in this. And I'm wrapping this up, I promise, sir, because it's taking too long. For 3D printing. Yeah, check it out by Mind Game Productions. That is in Ocala, Florida, the Wayne's World of Paintball. Moving right along, December 8th to the 10th, New Calantha Fallout LARP, Trenton, North Carolina, another fantastic group. Steve C. of New Calantha, a awesome, tight-knit, heavy roleplay LARP, Fallout-oriented with Nerf and Airsoft. Check them out. Amazing. And we're going to cut it there because we're almost 25 minutes in.
I know.
If you did not see an event that is happening in a nearby area, I didn't say it, my bad, but I really don't care. Throwing it over to Greg, though.
Well, thank you very much for that. Always informative, always entertaining. Thank you so very much. We do have a special guest coming on tonight, going to give us a third opinion on what we're talking about. Of course, we're talking about 3D printing and airsoft, and it is an important topic. But welcome, Mr. Z Monster himself. Sal, how are you?
Hey, so can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Hey, so first off,
little quiet. Turn it up. Or bring the mic closer.
Can you hear me now?
Whoa.
Okay.
Don't whisper.
So interesting to note. We've. Hey, what's up, Rob? We had a customer hit us up about 3D printed rounds. And so we had a long discussion about 3D printed stuff on rifles, right? Hey, I have a 3D printed gun. I got a 3D printed launcher. Okay, great. And then one day we had these guys show up and they had 3D printed 40 millimeter rounds.
Yep.
Hey, man, they were awesome until we realized they were hard as a rock.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, hey, man, you guys can't use these. What do you mean? Because you're like, you can't use these. And so somebody got on the field and used them anyway. And we had to say, hey, thanks for breaking that dude's windshield. You're out of here.
That's what I figured happened. Yep.
Yeah. And so these were hard. I mean, they novel concept. They whistled when they went through the air. They were a knockoff of the Cronade. If anybody's seen what the
Oh,
Cronade,
okay. Yeah.
the Cronade manufacturer reached out to Sam this week and went, "Hey, I'm going to send you some rounds for you guys to test. I swear they're soft." And, okay, great. We'll evaluate them. Send them to us. Send them to us, so we'll look at them. But the ones that we had, 2 events now. One was just super hard. The other ones were a hard base with a real thinly printed cavity shell.
Mm-hmm.
No, not quite those, man. And so it was all PLA 3D printed material, and probably as thick as an eggshell.
That was the one that actually concerned me more than the hard one, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because they splinter.
Yes. So that was part of it. The other half was he was filling the cavity to capacity with powder. So you can imagine this like a hard-boiled egg coming at you. It was like, hey man, less powder. But it didn't help that the bottom half of the 40 millimeter was hard plastic.
Yes.
You know, it's like, hey,
hey,
dude,
one way or the other, it's got that kinetic energy.
It's got that energy to it.
Yeah. We've actually had a couple people approach us at our events. Show, hey, I've got this one. One was like a chalk round, and we had to look at it because if I can't deem it safe, like if it's not going to knock a kid out, if it's not going to splinter and slice somebody's face apart, those are the things that we just can't have happen. I appreciate it. But this back was the time when guys were doing Easter eggs with ladyfingers in them. You know, can't have that. You got to be very, very cautious with that kind of stuff. So
3D printed 40 millimeters are the new like Easter egg grenades. Yeah. It's really funny.
And I get it, man. With the whole ATF coming down on airsoft pyrotechnics, a lot of people thought it was directed at one particular company. It was directed at all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it was a money grab as far as the federal government coming and going, hey, pay to get tested, and we'll tell you who does the testing. And some people said, fine, we'll pay for it. Other people said, get bent. I'm a small business. Guys from Milsim Labs came up with a round where you put the red snap caps in the warhead. I went, it's ingenuity, but what if you actually hit somebody? Because whatever you launch may actually come into contact with somebody.
Right. That's always a concern.
Same thing with the whistling rounds. And it was like, well, Sal, you're saying we're going back to the dark ages with Nerf. And I went, yeah, but a Nerf dart never hurt anybody.
Right.
Might have taken you off might have put you on your butt, but I don't know.
I had a legitimate tagging round, which is obviously was approved by everybody. No matter how many times you say it, there's always someone. We had at an event, a guy shoot instead of 45 and up, he shot like this.
Yeah.
It hit, bounced off the back of somebody, and came back and hit one of my kids. He's actually an intern at my shop now. Caught him in the face, blew his eye pro off. So even with the approved stuff, you get guys that don't follow the rules. And this can happen. You have to talk to the dumbest person in the room and always plan for that. Yeah,
as Godfather says, the lowest common denominator. I like to say the low, the least common dumbass.
Yep.
That's the hard part, man. Because at the end of the day, we are shooting plastic projectiles at each other. And it's like, hey guys, well, I signed a waiver. Everybody says that until they lose an ear, lose an eye.
A tooth
off. I mean, I've had 2 teeth shot out. Once as an admin, the other time as a player. So
very true. By the way, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Which guy I was talking about. Very true.
Yeah, and of course, it's always that one dude. It's like, well, it's if you can't take it, don't play. I'm like, okay, so says the guy till he has his earlobe shot off or his fingernail shot off.
Yep.
And at that point, he's like, you guys got to really focus on safety. You think?
Sal, what year did Taggin bring their prototype mortar to your event? What year was it?
Oh shit! Let's see. I want to say that was a 19. Yeah,
I remember first seeing that, and I thought, oh no, is he using the water-powered Zoxna like solid. You remember that they sold that on E-Mike? I was like, no, but then it was tagged. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we tested. We actually got one of those when it first made its appearance, and we were like, you remember that? You remember the Koksu mortar that shot this giant mortar shell. We're like, oh, this is a bad idea. That thing was hard as
and it had fins, so even if it missed, you could like
steel fins.
We're constantly trying to come up with something, the next big thing. I had this intricate design of as it goes through the air, when it starts to come down, it reverses and actually floats a little bit easier. You have to have something that no matter how far it goes and how free you think it's going to be, if it hits somebody, is it going to knock them out? You have to account for that.
So Toucan brought up the Dominus. So Mark brought it out. We test fired it. We looked at the rounds, because he had 3 different types of rounds. He had the inert foam round for training, big orange dart. Yeah, the other one that was like the vellum, it had the smoke. And then finally he had the impact, the crush fuse, and then detonation. All the admins picked them up. We all looked at them and went, all right, this is soft and spongy. The fins are a little stiff. Okay, not a big deal. One of the guys goes, I think it was Godfather, hey, I'm going to go stand at the intersection. Give me a battery 6. And he goes, runs out there, and we launch 6 of the inert rounds. And he's like, yeah, man, I got nailed by 2 of them. I'm here. I'm still here, man. Let's go for it. And I was like, okay. It basically was a high angle. I love Edward Miranda. High angle hell. The rounds were just high angle Nerf rounds.
God, they were cool.
They were so cool. And then marrying that up with the new kick charge system that Mark has in Europe, where it's no longer HPA, it's actually like propellant. You drop it down the barrel, it hits a glow plug, and off it goes.
What?
Things you can't have here in the States.
Land of the free, baby.
I know, man. So
there's always going to be some kid who's like, I was doing the best I could.
Yeah.
And Mark showed that you could hold a grenade in your hand; it wouldn't blow your fingers off. And I'm like, okay, that's awesome. But getting back to the 3D printed stuff, necessity is the mother of invention, and we're right back where we were pre-tagging, pre-Enola Gay, pre-IWA. RWA, IWR, can't remember what it was. Those guys made some great stuff. TLSFX, again, if you're playing airsoft in Europe, for some reason they're just so much more mature about these things than us.
I know that, especially in like south, in the north of England, you need like sometimes permits and almost always a license to like even own some of the guns. It's pretty meticulous. I give them props.
So it's UCARA. It's the United Kingdom Airsoft. You got to have the UCARA player member card. Otherwise, you're buying a neon gun.
There's definitely a place for the innovation of the 3D printing and people doing it now. One of the problems, and I hear it probably on a weekly basis coming into shop, people are like, oh, can you just print this or just print that? Well, grabbing an STL file and throwing it on a printer is one thing. Understanding what you're doing or even drawing it yourself, that's a whole nother world. I can go on Yegi or any one of those right now and find dozens of pre-drawn stuff and throw it on a printer, get it out, and go run with it. But if we're talking about, if it's a projectile or even if it's a gun, there's a guy right now who he actually created as a prototype a 3D printed HPA engine. Right? Cool. Yep. All well and good, as long as you don't go past 60 PSI. You go past 60 PSI and it explodes. Yeah. Because even PET-G or none of those things are going to be strong enough to withstand 140 PSI.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. It's going to explode. The threads won't hold. Nothing's going to hold. Well, there's guys that are finding these things like, I should be able, and they're going to do them, and they're going to try, and they're going to do it, and their gun's going to explode. They're going to get upset because they're trying to be innovative without the innovation, or they're trying to save money or something along the lines. And we got to be careful with some of that with it. Now, granted, it is moving things forward. You're finding Ronin kits and bullpup kits and a lot of
Yeah.
these new things, which is awesome. But there is that flip side of danger as well.
Yes.
You got to be cautious for sure.
You know, the guys 3D printing. I mean, I remember talking to Bingo Airsoft back in the day, and then later on when Sam took over from Bingo, and they were printing whole guns.
hmm
With the exception of the engine and the barrel, the body itself, the shell was 3D printed. And I was like, dude, we could get wild, man. We could 3D print the Emily 556, which is the MG42, but in 556. So we could go all in on this.
Yep.
One, the technology is not really there, even though he showed him how to do it and like how to build it, how to print it, and add strength and rigidity to it. And then as we were diving in to it, we saw guys 3D printing guns, like firearms.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was like, you remember the 45,
Yeah.
the Liberator, pistol? And I was like, oh, hell no. Not good. But then, you've got guys who are brand new to it, and they're thinking, well, it's on the internet. It must be good. Must be ready for me to use.
Sam's got some really nice stuff. Junkies has some really, really nice stuff. They carry the for the MP7 drop-in kits. He's got stuff for the P90, if I remember right. Some really nice stuff. If you look around, like for me, I've been working on a design for 3 years now for a DMR that I'm getting ready to come out with. It was actually something I was going to show. I designed a gearbox specifically to house an engine in it to sit in the body, and then I took what was an in-grip regulator and designed a housing for it so it actually goes in line, and the bottle stock goes in like this.
Right.
That's what I call the VD now. This is based on the M110, and that actually functions now with the bottle stock on it and all that.
Right.
It took 3 years total, me working on this to get all the specs right, get it to hold it right, to be, you're talking like less than a millimeter. I'm sitting over here working with micrometers, just to get this right. And I try to remind people, like, there's guys like, dude, just scan it. It'll be just scan it. It doesn't work like that. There's so much more involved. You're bringing something from 2 dimension to 3 dimension. There's so much more involved. So if you like that, I talked to Sam Black when we did the class last year. So much respect for some of the designs, that Junkies is carrying. You have to give respect to that stuff.
I mean, every time I fly in, I'm like, all right, man, what's on the Skunk Works? And he's there, he's got stuff sitting there. He's like, we tried this, we tried that. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, how many times did you print that? And he goes, a lot. And we're not even there yet.
Oh yeah, dude, I got,
here. And I'm just
a couple more just sitting around.
Yeah. I remember when he was doing the Vector chassis. And I was like, dude, of course, back then the power, Georgia, Atlanta power grid sucks. So you can imagine what happened there. We go to lunch, come back and be like, the printer.
No.
The power blink, or the printer heads got clogged, or it was like, dude, note to self, don't buy one.
My new printer finally, I got a new one that actually, if it loses power or runs out of filament or anything like that, it'll pause, wait for the fix, or if it loses power, it comes back on, and we'll pick up from where it left off automatic. So I got tired of that. Yeah, no. These are not like $300 printers.
Oh no.
Yeah. Throw an extra zero. It was important because what I'm trying to bring, just like what Sam's got, what I'm trying to bring out is I'm getting ready to ask people to spend money on this.
Right.
It has to be that quality. It has to be professional. So
what somebody said, it has to be retail ready. And we've seen a lot of guys where they'll create something 3D, they'll hang the 3D file online and they'll be like, okay, I don't have the effort or energy to make it retail ready. So I'll just put it out to the fleet and let the players figure it out.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's like when people. Sorry. Sorry.
It's like the high kappa adapter for the shotgun shells. I was like, this is cool, but the magazine already carries plenty of rounds. Why would I feed it with shotgun shells?
Let me see. I'm trying to find. I got
It's like I don't know if you have any experience with it in like cosplay. People will rip files from different games and basically just put the raw ripped file out and go, here it is. It's unprintable. It's unusable. They're like, that, and then all the comments under the file will be like, it doesn't work. You didn't do anything to it. It's just, and they're like, yup. It's, yeah, you see that all the time.
Yeah, you want somebody else to do it. I'm farming it out to you guys, you know.
Yeah.
Like, this is very nice. So he's right about this. I actually made a holster for a Mac.
Yeah.
Which was fun. Took me an extra minute or two to figure it out, but actually it does work, and I made it. And we all should be focused. Sal, I know you are when it comes to the events, and Sam with the company. Being focused on the player, being focused on the customer is important, you know, and that again that plays into what we're talking about, the 3D printing stuff.
Yeah.
Safety, quality, you know, all of those things, incredibly important to bring this stuff out. And I encourage every single person that comes in and says, I just picked up a 3D printer. Good.
Cool.
Don't just grab STLs, and you have to understand your slicer if that's what you're doing. Other than that, start drawing. There's free drawing things out there. Absolutely, go and learn how to draw. Do your own stuff. You know that.
What's up, Yordi? So you brought up an interesting point. I've seen a lot of airsoft companies and even production companies. They'll create great games, or they'll stock their store based off what they like, completely ignore what the player base is asking for. You know, and it's like, hey guys, I noticed none of your guns have sold. Well, yeah, you know, I'm like, okay, quit buying what you like and buy what's selling.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
So this is something I'm designing. I have a gun called the VD, which is it's based on the ASO2.
No, Greg, your trade secrets. No.
It's okay. No! So I had to design this body right here to go in place of the ASO2. This is actually going to be for the. This will end up going here. This ends up going over here because it's an adjustable 3-position adjustable grip going on a sniper rifle. You know, the whole idea back here is where the HPA bot or the Wraith stock goes over here. This is just some of what's happening as far as the drawing goes, and what I'm showing here is hours and hours and weeks of work. You don't just throw it together. Every time you print it, you got to find out where the weak spot is. You got to find out what's working, what's broken. You know, this is actually the wrong one. This is an old one. Oh no, there it is. If you look down the bottom underneath here, that's actually where the line goes through. Yeah. You know, because it won't fit. I made it so that you don't see the airline, but that has to go all the way through, all the way back, and it leads all the way back into here. You know, you have to go in and you have to cut all of that out. You have to draw the whole thing that way. It's not just, you know, oh wait, here it is, and throw it into place. You actually have to do the work. You know, when you're printing, this is just a slicer.
Yeah.
You know, when it's done, you put it on the platform, you put it on the slicer, you set all your parameters, and then you print. If the parameters aren't right, then it comes out. It comes out with striations. It comes out weak. It comes out too strong. Whatever it might be. If you printed that's why I brought these out. If you print it in the wrong direction, well, where your supports are may not come off. So here, that's why I showed that is these supports here are basically locked on because the areas were so thin that I could sit here and I could try to pull it off, but it'll take me longer to take it off than it did to print it. Yeah. You know, it defeats the purpose at that point. So yeah, get it, do it, get involved, but understand there's more to it than just be like, dude, you should just print it.
So here's the other half of the industry, right? So you got the homemade printers printing potentially unsafe, right? Okay. Never trust an EOD tech that has all his fingers. Somebody once told me.
Jesus Christ.
But more importantly, so you have industry. Okay, we forget the guys in the industry, guys like Rich. They will go out and they will invent something.
Yep.
Okay. And they will patent it. They'll do the copyright. They will protect their intellectual property, and they'll get it out to the fleet. Right. And then you'll have this dude out there who will be very innovative, and he'll create something cool that is an add-on.
Yep.
Okay. And you're hoping that that person gets co-opted, and not sued, because he or she may be creating something that actually improves the product.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about this years ago, about the guy who created the intermittent wipers for your car.
Yes. Yep. The blinking eye wiper.
Mm-hmm. Yes. He got trashed by Big Five Auto,
Yeah.
And then they ended up coming back later going, this is a great idea. But
what's going on, Chris?
He was dead and buried, man. So, we don't want to crush innovation integration.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like a safety thing, man, because someone has fronted all the risk and all the time. Or the fleshlight. Thank you, stupid.
Thank you very much. Had to go there, of course.
Had to go there.
Of course.
But, fluid and electricity doesn't work. So, the Anal Intruder 5000, make sure you're using 110, not 220. Okay.
I guess I better throw that one away.
Great movie, if you can remember the name of the movie.
Anyways. I'm learning so much with Sal on the stream.
I'll give you another one. Val Kilmer comes out in the movie. Anyways, Papa knows the movie.
I'm not. Hey, listen, I'm just over here.
Yeah. Anyways, so
the Odin is actually a great example.
That's another great one.
Great. That was the biggest one in airsoft that got copied, that people lost their mind over.
Yes.
And it's a shame, but it's a great example of protecting your product. I have one thing that I've created. I have the D-Hop, and that is a proprietary material. I just partnered with HPA, Dan from HPA, and I'm using his AccuShot barrels exclusively now. Which it has improved it even more, so it's fantastic. But I protect it, very close, because it's an improved thing that I don't want somebody to take. I worked hard on that material. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to take the chance.
And you don't want people to take what you've worked so hard on to then make a poor imitation, and then they go, "Oh, I did what he did, and it sucks."
Yeah,
that's another interesting thing too.
Yeah. Nicely said, Toucan. So intellectual property. The sad thing is, airsoft would not be what it is right now if China had respected Tokyo Marui. We would not have had this explosion of airsoft.
That is actually. I mean, there is.
Which is that's irony, but
it's you do. Give credit where credit is due as well. I always everything, all the guns that I'm building, guns I'm designing, if they're based on something, like I said, the VD's based on the M110. I changed the inside. All I did was I took a bunch of other people's stuff and I found a way to make it work together better. That's it. And I give credit for every single part. I didn't create anything except for the gearbox, which again still isn't necessarily. It's a modified version of the V2 gearbox. All I did was find a way to put it together a different way. Got to give credit where credit's due, and the innovation factor though is so much more at hand. I'd love to see people doing it and doing it safe. I think more and more people getting their hands on 3D printers and learning is a great thing, as long as they're learning. Don't just throw them out there.
A great example of the discussion at hand. This is a very public, very easy to access 40 millimeter grenade launcher. If you want to talk about respectful intellectual property refinement, you go on Thingiverse and find this grenade launcher, then click on remixes. There are 45 versions of this platform, and the creativity and innovation of the community just off of this one grenade launcher is astounding. From this becoming much shorter to much longer to non-functional to Nerf only to Airsoft accessible only. This is a prime example of respectful innovation and giving credit, because the only way to find the remixed files is to find the original gun, really. So it's nice to see the intellectual property of basically a public property or product that then has the community go, I remixed this, by the way, here's the link to the original. That, I think, is a great way on how the people in the community can show its respect to where the initial great product originated from.
Yeah, same thing goes in the gaming community. It's like when you download a mod, it was like, hey, respect to, or the original game mod, it was done by Modmaster, and you're like, oh, cool. They're actually giving, credit. But again, ballistically, you're creating something that's ballistic.
You actually made mention before about printing full guns, and with the one Toucan just did the 40 millimeter. One of the other things to keep in mind is if guys are creating complete guns, great, good on you, but are they regulated? So is this a gun that you go out on the field? Can I, if it's HPA, can I make sure that I can actually tie it down? Because the guns that I'm making right now are either bottle stock guns, things like that. They have to be able to be tourney locked, so nobody can change the FPS while they're on the field. You have to be able to have that.
So one of the ones I saw here in Texas was a completely 3D printed MPX. The guy had completely printed it, and you could tell, hey man, you printed it in parts, because the way is, the limitations of his printer, but it looks great, and it takes MP5 mags. So he had to get in there and do some tweaking on it. Oh,
I should have grabbed. I didn't. I'm so stupid. I actually just started printing FPG parts for the folding pocket gun.
Yeah.
I started printing that for the new the Elite Force VFC 18C. So since originally it was KWA, I'm making parts for that, and that is, there's a lot. There's a whole lot to that, but it has to be just right. It has to be stable. You have, and it has to be regulated, and I can't just show up on the field and be like, no, this is good, and it's got a mag sticking out one side, and it's got to be regulated in some fashion. It has to fit. You're a mil-stim producer that has to fit into some category.
So that's the other half, right? We're seeing now where, I'm glad when we had the SMG class pop up, it was like industry responded. All of a sudden we saw this. Used to be what? A Mac 10. You might an MP5.
Yeah,
and that was about all you could find out there.
A gas blowback MP7 at the tail end of that before you did your thing. Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, bam, we hit the SMG class, and it caught on among the event hosts for a little bit, and industry responded in a big way. In the firearm community, a lot of us are gun nuts. We were kind of reading the tea leaves with the firearm community with the PCC, the pistol caliber carbine, which I'm like, that's just a submachine gun, but you don't want to call it that because gun nuts go crazy. But anyways, so now
I just glazed over that. We're crazy. Anyways,
Or, oh my God, it's a submachine gun. It's a submachine gun.
It's a personal defense weapon. Yeah.
Okay. So, which oddly enough, most PDWs are chambered for rifle cartridges, but that I digress. Okay.
Here we go. This is where DEO and TCA argue forever. We're not friends anymore. No.
No, I mean, but being in the military, PDW, we learned a lesson back in '93. Pilot getting shot down carrying MP5 mags is not helped by a dart team showing up with M4s. It's like, hey man, can you give me some? It's like the classic, it's like the classic. Hey Sal, why are you running a FAL when everyone else is running M4s? Damn it. And I'm like, hold on, guys, I got to reload. So.
Oh, I'll catch up. Yeah.
I'll just turn the corner. I'll catch up. There goes Papa with the sledgehammer. Anyway, so Dude, I'm excited that you're running. Digress. But I'm excited that you're going to Thunderdome and you're the Godfather. You're the kingpin of crime. Okay. You're Don. You're the Dawn of Dawns, dude. It's gonna be
Oh,
awesome.
just wait.
Dude,
Just wait. All I can say
man.
is full beard and fedora. I
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So the first one we went to, well, obviously we're like, you know what, we're going to get everybody in the groove. So when CRISPR does part 2, people are going to get into the spirit of it. So we're like, day 1, we're all dressed up like freaking Julios on freaking East LA. The next day, we all look like mobsters or guys from Heat. And so everybody's like, oh, this is so cool. And then so Thunderdome 2 happens. There's like, Sal, you're not running on Cartel. We're like, no, John asked us to run on DEF. And all of a sudden we see people getting into the spirit, and there goes Mad Pikachu in a tutu, and I'm like, I don't understand it. But crack is real. Anyways, so I like the game. Working with CRISPR on some ideas on the layout of the event. I'm really excited for it.
Yes.
You know, kind of upset that I got on after you talked about events, but you know. Let's see. I haven't seen Toucan with normal hair in so long. Yeah, no, dude. He's really.
It is normal.
It is.
I am actually very, very excited to do this. I know you in our local area we have the game. We have Wasteland. Mac Mind Game Production puts it on. And I'm looking in my closet. I'm looking right at my mayor outfit. I don't know if you ever got a chance to see any of the pictures.
Yeah.
I'm utterly ridiculous.
Oh, it's so amazing.
The only way I was going to go do it was to go that far with it. And when I talked to CRISPR and he's like, "You want to be the cartel for the CO for cartel?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I immediately started coming up with a backstory. I'm disenfranchised with the government. You saw my write up on it. And I'm like, I know, and I picture. I'm like, oh my god, I'm going over the top. I'm Castor Troy. I am, I'm every possible like crazy. I'm going for the whole thing, and you will hear me at opposite ends of the mall screaming and yelling because I will be yelling I will be hoarse by the end of the weekend, guaranteed. You will hear me. I will have my sledgehammer. Sledgehammer will be there. That it has to be. That's my whole new shtick now.
You got to commit to the role.
I know. I was like, dude, what are you? And then you're like, here. I'm like, oh,
Sal responds. He's like, what are you doing with a friggin' sledgehammer? It looks like it's heavy, and I go like this, and I go to hand it to him, and he goes, "Oh!"
he's like, I got gotten.
Yep. So I mean, I love it. It is. I'm crazy excited for it. I'm going to Yellow Dog first. So I'll get a chance to be CO there, and then for the cartel, it's a completely different thing. Are you on cartel this time as well? Are you?
I don't know yet. John has not decided. I let John decide for me because last time it was Sal, I want you to go cartel. Okay, and next thing you know, like everyone's like this span of 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay. I announced hey, I'm going cartel, and everybody's like, okay, all right, we're going cartel. And then John messages me, no, I fucked up. You need to go on DEF. I'm like,
oh no,
I'm so sorry, guys. It was like, oh. So this time around, it's like, hey man, he's like, I'll let you know. All right, fair. I really want to go to Irene, but I just can't. It's not in the cards, just because with us getting rescheduled out at Guardian Center, which I could do a whole show or diatribe on. Military training facilities have the first say. Okay, if they say this is the weekend, and right before you're at your 90-day lock-in, they go, sorry, man, you're moving this weekend. And you go, okay, yep, needs of the nation. Got it. Customer base will understand, and they don't understand. You're just like, hey, dudes, this multi-million-dollar complex it's not an airsoft field. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah.
Your
patriotism. They let you in, otherwise you're out.
Yeah, your patriotism is thin as a tissue right now. And so guys got really... Go ahead.
At Series Viking, SEAL Team 4 was there, or was it SEAL Team 3? And you're like,
Yeah,
hey,
3.
hey guys, SEAL Team 3 is here. Don't go there unless you want to be immediately lit up and not know who hit you. Anyways, and he just moved on with the brief, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's like, hey, don't go down. You can walk the field, but do not go down the subway past this point because they're training with CS gas.
Yeah, they're gas. You're so nonchalant.
You got players coming out of the side of the tunnel going, I can't breathe. I'm like, no shit. We told you. And of course, we got the guys putting props on the field. And they're like, yeah, don't go down there, man. It's and then that's when they're like, oh shit, we'll turn the vent on. We'll blow all that out. I'm like, thanks, man. But like Moscato talk, guys don't realize the MUTC, there's classrooms and when people got pissed off at AMS, you said we were using all the AO. I'm like, look, man, they don't know what they don't know until they get there. Right. And, the landlord's going to say, you get to use this part, not they don't understand what we do and they don't have to. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, hey, why haven't we done Starburst at Fort Hood this year or last year? And it's like, hey guys, Fort Cavazos, Fort Hood, they make the rules, and if they don't want us there, there's nothing that can be done.
Right.
So it just
you're at the mercy. This is not just some local guy who owns a field who says, yeah, you can come play here. It's a kind of real world stuff.
Yeah. Oh, hey guys, the government called. Yeah.
It's not the government per se. It's the military. So it's kind of like.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
I know, but and they just kind of get. I'm like, hey guys, I'm sorry. I felt bad for AMS in December when they basically were told by range control, we don't want to see a single tent from the road. We don't want to see any of your operation, like his check-in tents, all the sponsors. They had to be put in the wood line, like almost on top of the mount site, because the range control said we don't want to see anything from the road. And poor Bo is like, well, what about parking? And they're like, yeah, that's fine, but we don't want to see anybody's tents. And it was just like, oh damn, and that was. I said, hey man, there's nothing to be done. You want to be here?
Yeah,
that's the rules.
Take it or join.
Learn. Rattler's Rage. Well said, man. Well said. You're gonna learn, boy. You're gonna learn. So yeah. Hey, how's your son doing, Papa? Just diving
phenomenal. He's actually he's in his window. He's in the process of re-enlisting, and he is looking at reclass to 15 series. He wants to go be crew chief on a Blackhawk.
Wow, man.
And his goal is, once he gets on a bird, work on sponsorship with his chief.
Yep, go warrant
off. Yep.
Yeah, man.
That's the goal.
That's hell yeah. He's eyes really, on the prize, man.
When I was his age, 20 years old, I didn't know what happened yesterday, nonetheless what was happening in 11 years. He's planning for he's got the majority of his career planned out right now.
Yeah. I would say I had something of a compass. I had a needle. I had a little thing that told me which way direction was. But beyond that, my son's at Fort Knox right now doing cadet summer camp.
Oh, really?
Cadet leadership training. I want to call it camp. So we're gonna go see him graduate here in a couple of weeks.
That's awesome.
So yeah, dude, it's like, my God, where did time go? And his grades are way better than mine. Still can't drive a car though, so I got that over him.
Hey guys, I'm a civilian, anyways.
Yeah, but anyways,
I got one for you.
So you mentioned Iron Dagger in November.
Yes.
Continuous op GTI. It is a never activated depleted uranium processing plant.
Whoa.
Yeah, so they built it to take partially radioactive rods. That's the reason when you go in there, it's got the whole well of souls, as we call it. It's the reactor room. It's supposed to use the residual radiation in there to fire up a steam turbine. And then once it was depleted uranium, they process it, turn it into sabos for tanks.
Yep.
Well, 3 Mile Island happened So they said nope, no nukes, and so it never went hot, and they turned it over to training, and it's been a training facility ever since. We'll have the Little Bird there because the Little Bird does better operations at a continuous event than Stonebreaker per se. So I love how players go to Iron Dagger and go, I got it. You said it's a marathon, not a sprint, but I'm going to sprint for 24 and a half hours. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then there we are at like 1:00 in the morning and on my 10th cup of coffee. And I'm like, hey, Papa, what's going on? You're like, I don't know. Where was that kid at? He's asleep outside. Yeah. So much for going hardcore. So.
In Florida, we call that a predictable heat casualty.
Yes. Right now in Texas, dude, I'm not playing airsoft. It's too damn hot.
There's a lot of people around here that are taking they're taking their summer break right now.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of people are not. Even some of the indoor guys that because a lot of the indoor fields don't have AC. It just gets so obviously it gets unbearably hot.
Yeah,
something like that. That there's guys that aren't playing. It's Florida guys will play in anything except for snow, and if they're not playing right now, it's hot.
Yeah,
so,
I was gonna say I see the guys down in Rio Grande Valley are playing airsoft, and I'm like, guys, that's like Satan's taint. Like, what are you guys doing? And
there's no way. They're in front of a green screen. I don't believe that. There's no way.
Possibly. It could be deep faked. I don't know. But yeah, so we're doing a different bone crusher in February. So we're trying to change up the mix a little bit to keep innovation around the corner. I hate when people lose fields or lose locations because that just hurts the sport.
Yeah, Papa.
I mean, I'm talking about you get a prime industrial location or the prison, and it gets sold out from underneath you, and you're like, hey Sal, why aren't you guys going back to this location? And I'm like, because they sold it, or it's not safe to play there anymore, like Vicksburg, Mississippi. That hospital was awesome, but every time we went, it just kept falling apart.
More dilapidated, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Mayhem Mill, man.
Yeah, they just kept selling pieces of it off.
Yeah.
Eventually, there's nothing left to play around.
You're playing in an open on a concrete slab. Yeah.
It's like, wow, a building with no walls.
Right. Yeah.
Cover me with what? Yeah.
With what?
Yeah.
With positive affirmation. Keep going, dude. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I think the sport we're going to see, I always joke around, we haven't seen a major innovation with the electric gearbox. GBLS was they were onto something, and the rest of the industry kind of shunned them because of costs.
It's hard to justify a $1,800 AEG,
Well, yeah.
I think the least expensive one was like 14 or something like that, and then all the way up to like it was like $2,000 for the most. From what I understand, it's a phenomenal gun.
It's a phenomenal gun.
Yeah,
and I think it will turn some more heads in the training arena when they get to see it. But like small town departments want to buy a training set. They're like, hey man, I ain't got $40,000 to drop on this.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that the technology exists and it's ready for retail and it's out there means that at some point in the future, we're going to see what China did to Tokyo Marui. It's around the corner, man. It's going to happen.
You're not wrong. It's bound to happen. Innovations in HPA. There's got to be the next iteration. Right. The closest thing we have right now is Gate brought out the Pulsar and their Titan 2, which has Bluetooth integrated into it. All they did, they reduced the price a little bit. It's essentially a jack. It's basically a Polar jack, but it's got the Gate trigger FCU and it's Bluetooth. So that's the closest thing we have to an innovation in the past couple of years. I mean, as young as HPA is, that right there, that's the closest we've got.
Yeah.
You guys
Rick-
ever?
Rick is doing
There
different
was
stuff,
so in RC racing there were brushed motors and there were brushless motors. So in airsoft, I forget which company was like, we're coming out with a brushless motor. I'm like, oh, easy. This is going to be like the quickest innovative transition for airsoft. It never took off. I'm actually completely shocked. That blew me away.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can explain that. It's
Well, I know why, but it's like you'd think a bunch of, you think there'd be initial rush for it and then people would find out, but no one even took to it. It was shocking. No one even tried is what I'm saying.
well, it's it wasn't even the cost of the motors, but it wasn't bad. Motor cost.
The cost wasn't, it was nothing.
They couldn't get, because brushless motors have to have a MOSFET. They weren't integrating properly with the existing MOSFETs that guys were putting in their guns. If you spent 160 on a motor, you already spent 500, 600, 700 on your AEG to begin with. So you had a gate in there, you had a Leviathan, and you had something.
Yeah.
I blew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different MOSFETs and 3 motors trying to piece them together before Gate finally came out, and now Jeftron came out with their newest firmware that you could turn that piece of the firmware out. When you tell it, yes, I have a brushless motor, okay, you turn that up so it allows them to integrate finally. But what they were doing is they were backfeeding each other and blowing them up.
It was too soon technology.
Now, brushless is fantastic.
Oh yeah, but at the time it came out, it was too soon.
I agree.
Yeah, Chris was actually asking. He said, brushless is bad. No, the brushless as a whole is a phenomenal idea. The power you get from it, the efficiency of the electricity, all of it, great. But we weren't ready for it.
Right.
The brushless motor makers didn't talk to the MOSFET companies, be like, hey guys, I got this coming out. Can you put some code in your firmware? So they finally did, and we crested the craze, and that went away.
It was like, let me put it to you like this, Chris. It's like Pizza Hut came out with stuffed crust, and there was no pizza. It's like you just get crust. Like nobody wants that.
Let's see, GBLS. Yeah, man. We said the same thing though about gas blowback rifles, and really it comes down to real sim games, real sim real caps. We said, there's no room for it in the hobby. There's no room for it in the hobby, and then lo and behold, depending on how the event promoter did it, you could work it in there. I think GBLS is that technology is out there, man, which means we're going to see something around the corner. We've seen G&G get a little bit more efficient with their electric blowback. We've seen what is it? The recoil systems. You can name
the recoil shock.
There's recoil shock. I have one downstairs. It's a RM4.
SEMA's got one. SEMA's got it. Theirs is actually kind of neat. I mean, it's an entire piston that comes back. It's actually pretty cool.
I have 2 of them downstairs. I have an AK and a Mark 18 that are. What is the name of that brand?
Shit. So stupid.
Sim rounds, let's go. I played at Combat City sim rounds once. I'll never do that again. That was miserable.
All right, so here's what's bad about sim rounds.
Everything.
They're
about $2.70 a shot. The failure rate on them is high. You should be wearing a cup, throat protector, and full face. Should. Don't ever trust soldiers to not do those things. Hey, I had a soldier have to go to the ER because he had a ruptured testicle. Again.
My ancestors felt that.
That was one of the OCs. He wasn't really. He was just watching the CQB training. I was like, "Holy shit!" He was in the catwalk, so you can figure out how that one happened. Yeah, among other things. But sim rounds are great until you train with them and you go, "Oh, these suck." And I would say, airsoft is a byproduct of sim rounds because sim rounds sucked so bad. We looked for a better system.
No, I see a lot of guys come in. Guy CQC. I don't know if you saw him chime in before, but that's Josh Delmonico from CQC Holsters.
Woo! Shout out CQC.
He does training, and he came in and he guys got tired of. He trains from the clutch. He teaches guys how to, and they have to grab each other's guns and then shoot. Guys get tired of getting shot at point blank range with sim rounds. So he came in. He bought He came in and bought a bunch of Glocks from me, because in every way they're almost, they're one for one, except they don't shoot BBs. So it was a much better training thing to get that kind of close engagement. And I've seen, I get a lot. I'm sure Sam does too. I get a lot of that. Guys coming in, they want that one for one. They want the muscle memory stuff. So I know we're over time, and now we've bled out of our. No, it's okay. We bled out of the topic, which is good. We're over time, so we bled out.
Well, it's still related to the necessity of is the mother of all inventions. So
yeah,
even the Army's trying to 3D print tank parts in the field.
Really?
How do we do this?
Whoa.
Oh yeah, try to 3D print a sprocket. And for the guys that know what I'm talking about, it's like a road wheel, a sprocket. Are you nuts?
Yeah, no, that's not gonna.
You're printing with metal, so you can imagine all of the problems that would come along.
Yeah,
with that.
the amount of energy it takes, because the amount of heat it takes to melt that kind of metal.
That's so crazy.
No, you're talking about a 12K generator running just that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
30 hours.
Hours and hours.
Yeah, not gonna happen. That's not the greatest idea. Just truck a new one in.
Yeah, I was like, this is not a good idea.
Speaking of innovation, what people don't talk about is a lot of innovation. An idea will be, or a product or an IP will be invented, and then it won't see the light of day after its first initial introduction, like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years later down the line. With, like, for example, the brushless motors, the GBLS style of guns. Maybe we won't see an effective version of the Javelin system in airs. Get the hell out of here, Yordi. Yeah. Maybe we won't see an effective quality product of that in until 5, 10, 15 years go by, when the technology catches up to the requirement for it to be effective.
So what we've also seen is industry buying the idea to keep it off market.
Yes.
We forget that, at one time when there was a couple of airsoft magazines, some of the production houses would come in and go, "We're going to buy your magazine off you." Oh, okay. And they'd buy your magazine off you, so they would take it off the shelf.
They shelf it. Yep.
Yeah, nerd.
Sam can definitely answer this. I should have had him on too. Just see me come on, because there's a good. All of these things. I'm a very small business. And it's just me, and I have one employee and an intern, trying to do everything I'm doing. If I'm not talking about things in the field, just in the store. So that's why it's taken as long as it has just to build the guns that I'm working on to come up with these designs. It's years. And it's small business, guys like myself, guys like Sam, that are trying to innovate. The big companies, they've got their mainstream production. Every so often they come up with the next new, but it's the next new that already works. It's just a different gun, all running the same thing, basically. So trying that innovation, so it takes years and years and years. Yeah, these 3D printers are babies still. They're only still figuring them out.
We're seeing some very progressive, like more than linear growth now. Just now, and they've been out for a while.
Stuff that's 400x speed. They've got stuff that's actually, they're figuring out how to make it print even faster and still be good quality. Stuff like that. That's great.
Yeah.
New materials. I print
dual extruder. Yeah.
I can actually print soft. I make fan belts. I can actually make stuff like that now. But that's only over the past year.
Yeah.
Those kind of materials have come out. So to do something with it takes, again, the more time. And I encourage everyone, keep trying. As crazy as Yordi is, Javelin system and airsoft. Well, maybe not the Javelin system.
Stop.
Something. There has to be that next thing. And the guys that are bringing you these, hard, noggin knocker shells. That's
good saying.
By the way.
That's good.
The noggin knocker.
All right. Well, so you look at it, you go, well,
write that down.
But try the next one, or soften it up or change it a little, or, whatever it is. next time. You can't have a shell with a CO2 cartridge in it for propellant. No, that's not going to work.
No.
That's going to be a little
Whoa.
aggressive. So you got to, but help them, and that's our job as well, is to let them know, yes, you're innovative, but you're dangerous. Let's draw it back a little,
Good initiative, bad judgment.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like where your head's at. Let's move over from the lethal department.
Yeah.
So it's
it's right up there with the guys in ancient history. I always joke around. I always wondered about the guy who found out what animals you could get milk from. Or the dude, or that one guy that found out which plants were edible.
What's the difference between an udder and not an udder? Oh,
not
okay. I'm using these that don't, not the, there has to be 6 or more.
Yep.
Not the one. Got it.
Yep. It's the same old dude that found out you can't get a salad out of poison ivy.
Oh God.
I mean,
yeah, somebody had to figure it out.
Somebody had to figure it out, right?
Actually, wait, you're in Texas, so you'll get how the hominy grit came from the grossest corn. Hominy corn is disgusting.
It is disgusting.
That's where grits come from.
Yes. Like, who's going to eat this?
Right. So somebody cracked it open and found that little teeny tiny piece. So it's about digging deeper. Find that next thing.
Yeah.
And
then be willing and be willing to do the work required to get it retail ready.
Yeah.
And
that is the hardest thing. I've got guys that have been asking. Yordi is definitely one of them. I've got a guy that comes in Pirate. There's guys that are like, is that gun ready yet? Is that gun ready? I'm like, no. I had the Veritas, which is the sniper rifle, almost ready 2 years ago. At 3.4 joules, it carries a 0.5 gram BB over 400 feet. Wow. Yeah, accurate. Wow. 0.5 accurate at 350. Yeah, it was a beautiful gun, but not quite retail ready because there were pieces that were weak points. So if you dropped it or something like that and it broke, there you go. So it wasn't quite ready yet. So I got this amazing gun. I can't bring out.
Yeah.
I'm waiting, but I don't want to do that because it'll just make me look bad. Like I gave Sam one of my barrels. I didn't realize at the time he got from a batch of barrels, and I've admitted this publicly now. I tried to improve the compound, and when I did, I actually made the compound more brittle. And so he got a barrel from that batch. I had no idea, which thank God I didn't give him to Rich yet. Rich and I'm trying to work with Rich at Wolverine.
Yeah.
I didn't give him one yet. Thank God. I didn't feel like I was ready. I recalled all of those barrels.
Sal, sir, don't listen to him. He's actually shit. He's lying, sir.
I'm terrible. Yeah, I'm
hey, I'll never forget, man. I gave a gun to a guy here in South Texas many years ago, probably 2009, and he gave me the gun back. Oh man, this has got my proprietary barrel, yada yada yada, and so it rained a little bit, and I realized he had put a straw inside the barrel, and that was his secret.
Stop it.
That and cardboard piston heads, and hey man, I've like when you posted that picture the other day, I went, oh yeah, this takes me back to those wonderful days. Like didn't see this happening as your gearbox,
Yeah,
it's like
I
don't think that's supposed to work that way.
That retail ready stuff. It's I made the mistake. I had it right. I tried to improve, and I didn't have a longevity test on the improvement. And I found out that patch was more brittle. I thought it was going to be better because I was trying to. It takes over 24 hours for the curing process.
Right.
And I was trying to speed that up so I could produce the barrels faster, and in doing so, made it more brittle. So I recalled all those and sent them back out. I want to send, obviously I want to send Sam another one. But that's the key is making sure you stress test everything because
no one's going to know how much backroom teching that you had to do to get there. No one's going to, some people won't respect it. Others
they don't care. Yeah. It's sad.
Others will take it for granted. And then the ones that do they still don't have an appreciation because they didn't live it.
Right.
They're like, wow, Papa, awesome barrel, dude. You should have come out with these years ago. And you're like, yeah, it took me this long.
Yeah,
You know,
I did create them 3 years ago. I just couldn't tell them now.
yeah. So innovation's hard, man. And I just want people to kind of take it. Rome wasn't built overnight. It burned overnight, but it wasn't built in a day, man.
It was very flammable.
Very flammable.
No,
Like Chicago. It's like Chicago back in the 1800s. One match.
Oh,
so
But,
do you anything you care to tease? Have you guys found any new location? I asked this because I actually tried a new location and they said absolutely not. They'll never have that there. So
whoa!
it was the New Orleans or
the Six Flags.
Yeah, I tried the Six Flags.
Yeah.
I found the guy to talk to, and he was still like, nope.
Yeah, so I'll tell you horror stories about New Orleans. Okay, there is an old naval base, old naval logistics thing. We went and did a recon there many years ago, and yeah, it's a trap house. It's yeah. We're pretty sure.
Excuse you.
The gangbangers were like, "No, Holmes, ain't nobody doing nothing here," and we're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
There were a couple of abandoned cars. We were like, "Yeah, no, we're not." And it's to the point where one of the owners is like, "Well, we'll pass that iPro to the bums, so that way, I'm like, no. And so then we went and looked at the Six Flags, and luckily it's dried up because this was right after Harvey. So there was a lot of rain. It got destroyed during Katrina, but so we're back. We looked at. A lot of people were like, "Wow, you guys looked at that location?" Oh yeah. We looked at the one that Stryker's using, Arcadia. We looked at that one years ago, and we found out there's too many hurdles for us. It's just like, you know what, not going to do it. We're going to pass on that one just because I don't want to deal with the hurdles.
No, we didn't go there either. Reasons.
Yeah,
we didn't go there either. Yeah,
and that doesn't mean that somebody else can't come along and do it. That just means that, hey, man, awesome, good for you. If you can make it work, awesome. Black site, don't care to go to black site, because I just don't. It's shaped like the state of California, and I just don't want to play in this anyway. So, so then we've looked at a couple of other locations that we'd love to make work. We've got two sites up in North Carolina that are kind of like a backup that we may do.
Nice.
The city of Milledgeville wants us back for Bone Crusher. So we're trying to go back to Bone Crusher in February. We've got the dates, got the weekend locked in. The city wants us to come in because it's an economic booster shot to the city. So we want to go back there, but in order to use all the locations they want to give us, we have to change the model. It will not be force on force. It will be like rolling tier ones.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
so you can imagine we'll have a invite only op 4. So that way we know that we're not inviting dick bags. We're inviting some of the best to do op 4, to be the Dragon Force. Centrilla?
where the active coal mine is burning?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no. Hey,
No.
guys, quit calling Camp Blanding. I'm just going to tell everybody, quit calling Camp Blanding. They fucking hate Paint Soft. Okay, they call it Paint Soft. Just don't fuck with them. Every time somebody wants to do airsoft there, they catch somebody playing there illegally, and it just ruins it.
Yeah.
Eagle Mountain in California. Yeah. Okay.
It's funny. I interject real quick. What's happening right now probably happens to you so often. Definitely happens to me. I've been looking for a new field. Mine got destroyed by the hurricane 8 months ago. Right. I've been looking for a new place, and for a while it was almost on a daily basis. Somebody would come in, go look here, go look there, and I appreciate them every single time, except either I have for sure and passed on it for reasons, or they don't. people don't have a grasp of sizing and requirements. Like
Yep.
like oh no, it's plenty big. It's 30 acres. Great. It's fantastic. It's 30 acres with no trees. There's
Right.
nothing. It's completely flat. Or
Yep.
it's go look at this place and it's 6 acres. I'm like, I run 85 to 100 players on a game day on 6 acres. They might as well just be 10 paces and shoot.
Yeah.
So I always try to find, and they come in constantly. How about this? How about that? You have to smile because they want to help. They're trying to help.
Yeah.
But you're like, thank you very much. Appreciate the input. Or I've got guys like, there's a place up by here, over there to the left of it. I'm like, can you drop me
Papa.
Tell me where. I don't remember what it's called or where it's at.
Yeah.
We're at the hour 30 mark, Papa. Not saying we should stop, but just letting you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
As great as this is, by the way.
Yeah.
So you've asked. So yeah, we're definitely doing Bone Crusher in February. We're going to push Stonebreaker to April because we have something planned for March.
Ooh.
Don't want to say anything yet because we want to go final on it.
Fair.
Looking good, Sal. You want to tell us some secrets?
Not yet. So we're Bone Crusher in February. We're doing Stonebreaker in April. We're looking at something in June before it gets too ungodly hot. Guys have been asking us to come back and do a Dragon Rogue, but I think that field up in Georgetown is great, doing awesome. I don't think they don't need us to come back there. So we're going to be looking for a location to do a Dragon Rogue like op somewhere.
Okay.
So I'll be definitely reaching back out to you on that one, Papa, because that could be a winner.
Absolutely.
And then we've got a Florida project in the can, but man, I mean, you're the first people I've told. So
thank you very much.
We'll wait and see. We had an option on a mall, but it's in worse condition than the one in North Carolina.
In Florida?
No, this was in Texas.
Okay. All right.
But
if it was in Florida, I think I know exactly what you're talking. There's one that people keep telling me about. I'm like, dude, it's destroyed. No.
Yeah. Yeah. When the SWAT team is telling me that it's gone to shit and they're like, you don't want to train there. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you haven't seen some of the places we do ops, man. But no, we're going to kind of let that one float for right now. Plus, it's like you said, 10 players to 1 acre. Malls are cool, but if you can only slice that pie so many ways.
Yeah. I enjoy playing in the mall, and I've told people who want to go. I'm like, it's a great time, and I will go every time Christopher asks me to go. Absolutely, but know that you're inside a smaller environment. So within the first hour, you've seen the whole thing. Maybe 2 hours if you went up and down. So you got to learn the different ways of going and doing all that. I enjoy myself. I'm an idiot.
It was so good.
I'm not stupid, so it doesn't matter.
It's the best.
But if you're there trying to be, Captain Tactical and all that, maybe this one isn't for you. Pass on the second day or something like that.
Or if you like to camp a lot, this one's not for you because you gotta move, man.
Don't stand back and just shoot store to store. Get out there, scream, yell, be a fool, and have some fun.
Yeah, epic story for Papa. Walking center doorway into Sears like a boss, and somehow we retook Sears, and I went, how do we do this? And they're like, oh, you gotta watch. One of the guys is showing me on his phone in between the rounds. See that? That's Papa right there, just walking in like he owns Sears. I'm like, wow. So,
Freddie killed me with the video of that. Absolutely, I didn't know he got it. I didn't know anything.
Yeah, that was Freddie's the one who showed it to me,
and he sent it to me, and he threw the Leroy Jenkins on there, and I pissed myself. It was I wasn't even laughing at it. It was me. Just the video itself was funny, and I'm like, holy shit, that is me. Like it was just so funny, and I'm walking along, and I really am small. I see all these grown men standing up to the side, and here comes somebody's disaffected child walking through, and I'm like,
I'm telling you, Papa, you're the micronaut.
And the man never got shot.
Yeah. Listen,
That's all that
Toucan
matters.
knows this. Toucan knows this better than anybody because his whole job when we go play somewhere is to protect me.
It's the worst.
Usually, it's protect me from myself because I get frustrated if people won't play because they're just BBs, guys. Come on, move, push, be aggressive, and go. If people won't play, I'm just like, I'm fed up. I'm going. He's actually grabbed me before, so I wouldn't. I just
you're like Coach, man. Coach will stand like in the middle of an open field and go, "I'm not getting shot. Move the fuck up." And I'm like looking at him, going, "Dude, oh my god," you know.
That's
Yeah.
Papa.
So that was your moment where I was just like, he's going in there. Hasn't gotten hit yet. I guess we better move up. Let's go to the port. Hey, Sal, Papa's already like way inside Sears. I'm like, oh, gotta go.
What's super annoying about that footage is in that video, you see me. I don't see Papa walk past me. And then by the time I see Papa, he's 60 feet past me. So it's just my dumb ass like, oh, they're actually shooting at me. I have to actually try to get, and you're just walking like you're getting ice cream. Like it's, yeah.
I learned at Op 31 when I was still a player that if you just shoot at someone and you keep moving, more than likely they'll duck. So I'll shoot at you. I don't have to spray you. Pop, 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 pop. That's what just keep going like this, and they'll keep their heads down, and I get to get all the way up to you and kill you because you were afraid. Awesome. Thanks for the game. You know, it's crazy, but guys, that's what they'll do. I hope somebody does that to me.
So interesting. We, working with CRISPR and moving stuff around and looking at the map going, yeah, man, we're going to redo all the stores, like all the collection points, like the pawn shop's not going to be the pawn shop. The courthouse isn't going to be the courthouse anymore. We're going to move these things around because we know the field now,
mm-hmm.
And so it's like, all right, man, we'll sit down and figure this thing out. It's going to be great. I'm trying real hard to go because I want to see this thing. I do. I just
please go.
It's a blast, dude. It's a blast. And I was like, maybe I'll just be a non-playing character. I'll be like a shop owner. I'll be like a bartender. I don't know. I'll have my Boston Scally, on and just be like, I'll have a pinstripe shirt on or something, just pouring drinks. I don't know. Get robbed every fucking 5 minutes. I don't know. But Jonathan, what's up, man?
Johnny Frau.
Drunk.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I'm excited to see that one. We're excited for Viking. It's going to be awesome.
Viking's always a good time.
I said this. A couple people have asked me everything I'm going to. Right now, the only games I can commit to are the two that I've committed to already, which I said I'd be COs for. And the only reason I can't commit to anything else is fingers crossed. I was supposed to get the word 2 days ago. I was hoping to announce it today, but I have a bid in on a new facility, and I'm gonna say a little something about it because I can't not. It's. I have to say something,
Papa.
If everything works out, if they accept my bid, which it looks like they're going to, it's 44,000 square feet. It's my new indoor arena, and it's going to be amazing. I'm sweating just thinking about it. I'm so excited, and I'm bringing it in to it's dead smack in the middle where up in Jacksonville is battalion and down in Miami is MA. There's nothing like that here, and to give local guys here somewhere to play 7 days a week, that's what I'm trying to do. I built this community together. We built this beautiful community that I've left hanging for the past 8 months. And I'm trying to do what I can. If I sign those papers, then I can't commit to anything else. Otherwise, I'm going to be there building this place. So that's what I have to do. Otherwise, you'll see me at every next event.
I completely understand and wish you nothing but absolute success.
I'm hoping, fingers crossed.
Because, dude, I mean, it's awesome to be a pillar of the community when you're recognized as that by players and they don't want to see you fail.
No, I've got nothing but support. These guys are they're like, whenever you need me, let me know. I'm ready to go. And I got guys that own construction companies. I got guys that, like all different. They're like, let me know. I can't do anything, but I'll still be there to help. I'm like, shit. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So again, dude, that's awesome, man. I'm hoping I completely understand. You got it. Small business owner. The challenge for a small business owner is to try to become a medium business owner.
Yeah. That is definitely the goal. Definitely the goal. Hoping that and all I really, this about me. I care about bringing it for the players.
Yeah.
If it works out, awesome. If it works out financially, great. That's all. That's one. I don't care about that piece. I've got enough. If I can make it work and stay open for the players to be able to play 7 days a week, I'm happy. If I can hire enough people they get to work in airsoft, even better. I know there's guys that want to make a living in airsoft.
Sal, this motherfucker.
Hey, man.
I'm trying to get him.
Guys ask me, what are you gonna do when you retire from the Army? I'm like, I don't know. Get a real job.
Wow.
Grow up. I don't know, man. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I haven't grown
an adult.
Up yet.
Yeah.
Let me know what it's like to grow up first.
Yeah. But that's awesome, dude. And try to get down there at some point when I hang up the boots, I have my own life. That'll be great. That'll be great. So.
When I do the grand opening, I'll let you know. See if we can't get you down here for it, because I'm trying to. I've talked to folks from what's it called. I talked to Dan from HPA. He's going to come down to HPA Day. Try to get talk to folks from Vulcan. All my different suppliers, trying to get everybody to come down for the grand opening to try to make it like this big. Really, I mean, it's going to be a big deal. The facility is huge. 44,000 square feet makes me I'm going to be just slightly smaller than Battalion, whose play area I believe is 40. My play area is going to be between 34 and 35,000 total play area. But I'm also adding in 4 VR arenas. So on top of Airsoft, there's also going to be VR in there, and the store and everything else. So, yeah, North Fort Myers, John. North Fort Myers.
Dude, that's awesome.
So,
and we will invite TCA out so they can respectfully decline. Well, because you will be busy.
You guys will be.
No.
I don't.
I feel bad. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Your schedule, your guys' schedule is so jammed. And CRISPR too. Like I talked to CRISPR.
Yeah.
You guys, I know what you guys do.
It's hell. The fact that you show up for your own events is amazing. Like your schedule must be absolutely a nightmare. Like,
so one of the guys goes, man, you guys plan 2 years out. I'm like, yeah, that's because the day job. If I don't do that, there's just no way. And sooner or later that'll go away, and that'll be better. So, I think once my brother retires from the service, I'll probably be the last one standing for about another year and a half.
I was gonna say, you don't have too much longer to go.
It's kind of like a bank robber. He's socking money away. In this case, it's kind of like you earn 2.5% more in your retirement every year after 20. So you're just kind of like, one more year, two more years. Oh
God.
Plus, if you're in a place, was it the Old Canary? If you're warm and happy in a pile of shit, you keep your big mouth shut. It's not bad where I'm at right now, and this will be the retirement job, as far as let me, get out the way you should be getting out. And then after that, dude, it's on, man. Try to get hired on by a reputable airsoft company. I don't know.
I don't know any of those.
I don't know any of those.
Not a clue. I wish any of us knew one of those.
But I joked around with Sam. We have a revolution coming in airsoft projectiles. So unfortunately,
dimpled airsoft BB. Here we go.
no, man. All I can tell you is it's going to change the shape of BBs.
The shape of BBs, you said?
The shape of BBs.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
tell you once we. I'll tell you once we get off the air, man.
And that's
Greg,
our
end the stream.
Yeah.
But it's right in there with innovation. But innovation's got to be timed, and we've got to do the homework on it. So,
AGs that shoot tag rounds.
man, my goal is to. I want to create a 3D printed Mark 19. Just.
Oh,
my God.
man. You see the King Arms Mark 19?
Let's not talk about that thing. Let's
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I
Actually,
want the
I
one.
actually sold my son to buy one. So
Yeah, I saw the prototype from Taggin, and I was intrigued, and it just didn't happen because the shells were all gas charged on the belt, and all it did was it was a giant MGL.
that's basically what it was.
That's all it was, and it just moved it advanced it, fired it,
Yeah.
So
That's still awesome. I mean,
oh no, you ought to see the kick charge system is amazing because it's basically a pyrotechnically fired or launched projectile.
Yeah, it comes down and hits the glow plug.
Oh no, he's got 40 millimeter now that does the same thing.
Oh shit.
Shoot.
So he has redesigned. I mean, again, they're selling them already in Europe. You can't get them here. So your 203, your M320, you put it in there, and it hits the primer, and off it goes.
That's
but
so
you can't get them. We can't,
we can't have shit here.
Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ruining it for us. So,
all right, let's guys.
Right.
So I don't know if you got anything else you want to throw out there.
Nope,
we got you.
Man.
All right.
Thanks for having me on.
Anything you want to throw out?
No.
All right, then. Thank you all very much for being on. Absolutely appreciate everybody sticking around. Anybody that's been sticking around the whole time, guys. Thank you for all your support. Always super grateful.
Love you, Sal.
Thank you for being on. Thank you for everything you do for the community. Best of luck always to you guys. Keep it going. We look up and look forward to you guys, and we'll see you all. 2 weeks, I suppose. Yeah. Hopefully.
With how we've been going, see you in a month and a half.
All right, guys. Thank you all very much.